Hi, hello and a very good day, a good afternoon to you all. Baie welkom aan almal. Goeiemiddag. Today I'm going to talk to you about, or today's topic is about red light indicators that is in the media and for you to take note of. Before I start, I'd just like to remind you to press the like button, share, subscribe, and press the notification button for our latest videos. Okay, I'm going to be focusing on the ANC, RET, and the EFF, evaluating the latest news and facts over the past 3 to 4 weeks. I'm not here to scare you, but I need to share with you what is noticed, what is evaluated, and how we see this thing rolling out going forward. And it will equip you to be better prepared, and obviously, if I may say, it's time now to listen and to implement certain initiatives going forward. Okay, if we look at the ANC, the RET faction, the points I'm going to cover quickly, very briefly, it's all in YouTube and on the media, is the political party itself, Eskom and the water problem, the delisting of companies on the JSE, and of course household income, reflecting on jobs and obviously crime related. Right, looking at the political party, there was an article in the Sunday Times on the 8th of May of this year that in the light of the Zondo report, Ramaphosa must dissolve his government, and that in a democratic society, the governing party, being the ANC in this case, should propose an early national election to Parliament in seeking a new mandate to govern the nation, of which we know the ANC will now lose that majority rule to govern South Africa going forward. Right, on that point, do you really think for a moment that the ANC will want to share that power or hand it over during the 2024 elections coming up? We know that the ANC believe that this country is theirs, that they fought for it, that this country belongs to them. All its mineral wealth, all its people, including forcing Christians, whom are builders and givers, and who have the Holy Spirit, now must live like slaves and be abused in all forms of evil imaginable. So that's why they are systematically nationalizing everything, slowly implementing increased BE ownership structures, land expropriation, mining and industry with tighter equity laws, name changes of towns, and removing various monuments related to our European heritage. I want to mention also that I would think that in time to come they would also tackle the Voortrekker monument, would also be a target in the near future. When our present generation has moved on, I believe that will be a monument they would like to remove. Okay, so what's the deduction we can make here? Under the ANC political rule, they will not hand over power after so many years of so-called struggle. After getting South Africa in 1994, there's no way they will hand over this power. And so you can make your own conclusions of what lies ahead after 2024, if not to the build-up of the national elections in 2024. Right, looking at Eskom and the water, there was also a source from other media outlets, including ENCA, dated the 9th of May of this year, that a national blackout is highly probable, and if not imminent, in this coming winter. And should this happen, it will take 3 to 4, if not 6 months minimum, to bring the country back to normalization. As you know, power shortages will have a roll-on effect with all forms of production, including water supply and food demand quotas in South Africa. Also, according to the Sunday Times, dated the 1st of May, the South African entire infrastructure is on the verge of total collapse. Now, this lack of infrastructure maintenance, corruption within, linked to dodgy black empowerment companies, and cadre deployments without any form of technical skills, has failed to maintain the public assets. Now, this will have a snowball effect, and this also means that the country will see a rapid further collapse of infrastructure, damage from disasters which will be multiplied, and the cost of these repairs will exceed that of building new infrastructure. What's a deduction we can make here under electricity and water? Well, if there's no power, there won't be water. And if there's no water, there won't be food. And of course, we're going to sit with anarchy of mass proportions. Looking at companies that have delisted from the JSE, on an article on the 10th of May of this year from the ENCA as a source and the Center for Risk Analysis. Obviously, the delisting is a strategic move, but the reality of this is it spells bankruptcy for these companies in the long run. So things are not going good with the companies. Investors have lost confidence in South Africa, and obviously in the political leadership of South Africa, and any future growth under the present political leadership is not looking good at all, with the ongoing political hate speeches and racial divisions that we hear on a weekly basis on social media. For your information, over the past 3 years, 70 companies, major companies, have delisted from the JSE, and of course this year we know of the PSG group delisting earlier this year. Okay, the deduction that we can make from this delisting is that the investors have no confidence in the future economic growth of South Africa, no job opportunities obviously that runs in line with this, and of course this would lead then of course to more crime. You will have noticed that SAPS have recruited a couple of thousand more recruits to address the crime in South Africa, but they're not addressing the origin of the country's problem, which is no work for our youth. Looking at household income and taxes, we know that, and it's public knowledge, that the middle class are in serious trouble. Their income is shrinking, and it's affecting their standard of living and, of course, lifestyle. We have 6.8 million taxpayers registered at the end of March of this year, and supporting the rest of the country's population of 53 million plus citizens. Taxpayers have dropped from just above 50% to below 36% in the last 25 years. First National Bank, FNB, estimates that it takes an average of 5 days for a middle income class or consumer to spend up to 80% of their monthly salary. This implies 20% of their monthly salary is spent or is used for a period of more than 20 days in a month. Personal income tax burden is one of the highest in the world. Our jobs are standing at 60% of unemployment levels in South Africa, and this you can see everywhere. Crime, according to ENCA, this month of May is the highest levels ever recorded. As we know well, the continued farm murders and attacks are ongoing, and South Africa lies third on the international scale of crime actions. Deduction here is no economy, no lifestyle, no future. And that's why the youth are leaving South Africa in drones. Right, if you look at the FF, let's end off today's video with something more shocking. This is up and coming to the front with, if I look at Malema's court case appearance in Randburg on the 6th of May of this year on YouTube, social media, I see that the SABC News is sponsoring this broadcast, this racial division and hatred that has been sent out on the 6th of May. Now, if we listen to the words from Malema, he talks about the enemies after us. Now, these are military terms that are used by Malema. He also uses words like fighters. He talks about the white, pink, racist Afrikaner male. He's working on his followers' emotions and sweeping them up. And what's important is he's changed these words from kill the Boer to kiss the Boer. Now, we know that he means kill the Boer. So kissing the Boer is antagonizing the whole process, antagonizing the people, making them uneasy, and also further he talks about touching the white man. What is actually meaning, and I can tell you now, is meaning to attack the white man. He further talks about if you don't want us to touch you, relating to the white man, the ships are waiting at the harbors. He further mentions that our land, this is our land, and that you are visitors. So the persecution continues against the minority groups. I think what's very, very important to take note here is that Malema talks about having 1 million quality trained soldiers by January of 2024. This is the year of elections. I think elections will probably be here in August, July, August of 2024. So he then talks about and uses the military term attack. So from soldiers to attack. And we look at Malema's history and his behavior and of what has happened in Africa, done with what has been done to Europeans, we see a repeat. And I think we need to take serious attention and pay serious attention to this, because the EFF as an organization are very focused and are very organized, and not like the ANC that are pocketing or lining their pockets. The EFF are very focused and determined to govern this country. They're also organizing and arranging to have their own union, which I feel will worsen the labor relations and the economy even more. And they also have their own TV or media platforms. And this increases the spreading capacity of racial hatred and division. If we recall well, in the month of February, the 16th of February, when Malema was in court with AfriForum, he said on camera that he hasn't called for the slaughter of whites yet. So go and do the sums. He hasn't called for the slaughter of whites yet, and talks about quality trained soldiers amounting to 1 million, and of course in early January 24, then if he commands the word attack, then obviously the obvious is there. The judicial system and the corrupted lawyers allow this sort of genocidal behavior by politicians. Now I can say that they will all be held individually accountable for this nation's downfall. Believe me, and that's the prophecy that I would like to make. The deduction that we can make here with the EFF is a future ruling party of this country, and that'll be that there'll be no place for you here in South Africa. You will be abused, you'll be raped, murdered, like your families and ancestors went through in Zimbabwe and other parts of Africa. These are the realities. I have to share them with you. This is what is seen, this is what is observed, and these deductions are, if I may say, bullseye. So, taking all that you've heard on camera out of Malema's mouth, the EFF in the year of January 24 are not going to the movies, and they're not taking picnic baskets with them. So with 1 million quality trained soldiers, it is quite obvious what their intention and their motive is. So this then brings me to the closure and decision time. The Antichrist is pushing for war. And it's not just globally, but here in South Africa, as we experience on a daily and a weekly basis. It is very clear that we're not wanted. I've mentioned this before in previous videos. And also, for record, the racism is with them, with Malema and the ANC and faction parties. It's not with us whites. So this is very, very important. What I have to say is that it's time for no more fear with the men that know God. Men of God are not children and should not tolerate the present situation in South Africa. Men of God are not lazy and they have a clear course of direction and action. I feel it's time for us to close ranks in business and in similar boundaries and start looking after your own. Look after one another in all forms and avenues. The ANC and the EFF and their affiliates are doing this exact thing, and hence I feel you must all do the same. This is a natural survival behavioral action for us to group in these times, and as you all know, that survival lies in numbers. Life still continues as normal. We know it's tough out there, but you need a plan. And this plan is a national emergency initiative that the Suidlanders and Southland Defence have, and it kicks in when there is anarchy. And this is why you need to be part of this plan. Remember the 10-10-10 policy to improve communications between one another by telling 10 people, and those 10 people tell another 10 people, and so forth. Please initiate that action. And as previously mentioned before, I've said in other videos, you must seriously consider joining us. Now you need to listen. And please listen well with 3 years. 1, 2, and the one inside is join us. Join the Suidlanders. Join the Southland Defence, Suidland Verdediging, and I want to make it very, very clear. Pick it up in comments and other social media comments and remarks, is we are not a right-wing organization. We are a faith organization. So again, join us. Implement the action part of your decision-making processes and become part of our National Emergency Plan Initiative. Right, just do it. Join us. Follow the links below. And again, please like, share on all possible platforms, subscribe, press the notification button for new videos. I'm looking forward to talking to you all again soon. And stay well, safe, keep sharp, and tot ziens.